Right now, we're going to turn our attention to this story for you. Tea Party members from across the country today are uniting in Minneapolis, announcing that they're going to form, and this has been much discussed, and it is happening today, a National Tea Party Federation. There are 21 groups that are pulling together. This grassroots group, of course, has taken American politics by storm, fighting against Washington's agenda, but not without criticism, especially lately. Several Democratic lawmakers claim that they were heckled by Tea Partiers the day before the House's vote on the health overhaul bill. The alleged incidents causing critics to paint this group as unhinged or even in some cases racist. But now African-American conservatives are speaking out about that. Listen to this fascinating piece of tape. This is what happens when a Tea Party critic called in to a local radio show and told the host that he thinks that the Tea Partiers are a bunch of, quote, redneck racists. Listen to what happened.
It's often said that the people who call names, who use names, don't have an argument to make. So, George, my friend, here's a little secret for you. I'm black. Go to your computer. Google me. I've been on the web since 1994. I'm not a redneck racist.
There you go. That was a very interesting exchange, and that was conservative radio host David Webb. That is the man behind that voice. I'm joined now by Juan Williams, who is an NPR news analyst and a Fox News political contributor, and Angela McGlowan, who is a candidate for Congress in Mississippi's 1st District. Welcome to both of you. Angela, let me start with you. Have you felt the pressure of this, being a black female conservative running for office? Do you feel the pressure that's being discussed here?
Not among the Tea Partiers, because we're all on one accord. This is not a black issue or a white issue, and Martha, is not a Republican or Democrat issue. This is about greed and that we've been taxed enough already. But Martha, I have felt the pain from the liberal mainstream media and others that don't want us to speak out, and they want to paint us as being racist, rednecks, and the fact that we're out of touch. And yes, people did heckle Democrat members of Congress voting for this health care bill because we've said we don't want this type of health care reform.
But what about perhaps African-American friends or people who are of a different political belief than you are? Have you had pressure from those people in your life?
You know what, Martha, after I explained to them about the job loss, and at the end of the day, under this administration, and one, you will agree with me that most blacks did vote for this president who happens to be black, that even here in the state of Mississippi and other places, you have a higher unemployment rate among minorities. A lot of minorities own small businesses. When you increase taxes, it hurts small businesses. So once I break it down that this is not a color issue or a party issue, people do understand. And you do have some blacks that will not vote for this president in 2012, and I think that some will switch and vote Republican or Independent in this year, 2010 in November.
Juan, what do you make of this? I mean, the Tea Party now, we just announced this news this morning that 21 groups are pulling together. A lot of people have wondered if this will happen because it's been a very disparate group. And now there is this brush that's being painted over this group, that they are things like redneck and things like racist. What do you think about that?
I think that's wrong, Martha. You know, the fact is that if you look at the polls right now, it indicates that anxiety over job loss in this country is sky high. You look at the distrust of government, people who say that they fear government has grown too large, the taxes are too high, as Angela was saying. That's mainstream American political anger at the moment. And so when you have incidents like the one on the Capitol Hill that Angela was talking about, where there was the use of some expletives and some spit flew, people think, oh, that's the image. Or they look at, down in Searchlight, where some Tea Party people went to Harry Reid's hometown, and they say it's an overwhelmingly older white crowd.
Yeah.
I think they lose touch with the idea that mainstream American opinion at this time is strongly distrustful of government, angry at the things like the bailout of Wall Street.
I think that's true. But there is this effort, and some would, pin it really squarely on some in the mainstream media to minimize this group, to say that they're dumb, to say that they don't know what they're talking about, to say that they, as this caller, when he called in, he said a lot of times when people call names or something, it's because they don't have any real thing to say. Does the Democratic Party or liberals in general, do they do that at their own disservice, Juan? And then I want to get the same reaction from Angela, or same question.
No, Martha, I just wrote a piece in the Wall Street Journal in which I said that there's danger for the Democratic Party in writing off the Tea Party movement as a bunch of racist kooks, because then they lose touch with the idea that these folks are in fact reflecting mainstream concerns about size of government, taxes, healthcare reform.
Yeah.
There's some racial issues hidden in there. Obviously, you know, if you look at the heart and soul of opposition to healthcare reform, it's older white folks who are concerned about Medicare benefits being cut and taxes. You know, and of course, unemployment's hit hard on white men. But to just put that racial focus on it, or to say, oh, you know, the threats against Pelosi or Patty Murray are tied, that's unfair to the Tea Party movement and unfair to people who are trying to accurately see what's going on in American
politics. And you know, this is, I want to pull up a poll that shows the breakdown of the Tea Party in two different ways, and just pull that up while we talk about this. Angelina, what I'm struck by in this is that, you know, over the course of political history in this country, that, you know, there was a period when, you know, to be Catholic meant you were a Democrat. To be a woman meant that you should be a Democrat because of women's rights and, you know, that the you know, sort of underdog issue. Are we getting past that point where conservatives, where the lines are blurred, where people care about different things?
I don't think we're getting past that from liberals bashing and using race baiting. But I do think we have an opportunity now to educate people. In this Tea Party movement, you do have black clergy, you have Hispanic doctors, you have unemployed people, you have blue-collar workers. So I think, Martha, the liberals, they're bashing and using race baiting because that's all they've done. But now you have people waking up. When Bush won in 2004, you had blacks vote for him because of the right to life and the sanctity of marriage. So I think with this grassroots movement, we are going to educate people more. But you do have more blacks that are registered Democrats. But you have some that I think that will go to the side of the right because they've lost their jobs.
All right, well,
and they're tired of this administration preaching hope and not giving change.
It's a fascinating debate and one that we're watching very closely. I thank you both so much. It's very good to have both of you here with me today. Juan Williams and Angela McGlowan. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you.
If you tossed out your